Hey, hello, and welcome to Nasal Academy. My name is Tammy. Um, yeah, I was like, what do I want to talk about today? Um, I think I want to talk about using the sense of smell to trigger a buy button. Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. So, you have to forgive me. I forget what the term is. I mean, neuromarketing is big. We know that they're constantly, they're evaluating our buying um, habits, our purchasing habits, our shopping habits. They're just there's observations that all over the place, and this is being applied to everything, even to the way, even in the middle of this crisis. I've noticed a big shift in, promoting businesses to be able to be more online, um, right down to gyms. I've seen, I think it was Planet Fitness actually, that is now offering group fitness on TV. Um, so the point is that they there's we're constantly being marketed to, and when you go into well, I don't know, maybe you sold a home and maybe it was the agent suggested that you be cooking something or baking something prior to showing the house because it creates that homey kind of inviting kind of experience. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. And storefronts, boutiques, businesses in general are beginning to place aromatic diffusers and plug-ins, if you will, right at the front of the fence, early in the entrance of the store, enhancing the smell of the store. Um, the reason that this is a concern, I don't care how you spend your money. I mean, I like to shop like the next person. So, if the smell of the store isn't, enjoyable, then I mean, I'm sure I'll stick around. It's not going to chase me out. Um, but then I also know with the power of my pocketbook. Okay, so but the nose is a marketing target. That's how I want to put that. The nose is definitely a marketing target. However, that said, it's very, very concerning when we have the number of people who are living with heightened sensitivity to smells, um, sensory processing disorders. We see that a lot with autism and other mental health concerns. I don't really like the term mental health as as a diagnosis. Everyone's mental health. Truthfully, we're all a little having. We live in a very chemical world. It'll trigger depression easily. This is the reason why I'm promoting Nasal Academy, because we can really offset a lot of that angst that comes with or emotional or that sensitivity. That's how I want to say it, the sensitivity. I've talked a couple of times about adverse reactions. Oftentimes, when it comes to an aroma, um, the adverse reaction could very well be anxiety. It could be agitation, frustration. It's not necessarily an allergy as much as it is a heightened activity of the autonomic nervous system, which has been activated through the chemicals that you're. And the thing is, I've talked about this in other episodes, and if you haven't heard it, it doesn't have to be detectable to actually have an effect on you. It's more concentrated, the aromatic chemical, the more you can smell it. But it doesn't have to be, yeah, you don't have to be able to smell it. And so, which means if you don't even have to, even if you didn't have a sense of smell, let's just say your sense of smell has been diminished. Um, this is the reason for why we want to exercise our nose, um, because in order to restore some degree of our sense of smell. Yet you don't have to smell something to be affected by it. And so if you go into places that are using aromatics to um, attract you, and you find yourself, you know, not necessarily feeling comfortable, or after you've been in the store for a while and now you're starting to feel agitated, or you have children who start to go have who already have social concerns, social anxiety, and now you go into a store that's doing that, it could potentially impact their system to the degree where they will have a breakdown, start crying, be irritated, irritable. And that's the problem with this sensory marketing that's going on, especially the sense of smell marketing. Um, it seems benign, but it's not. The Our sense of smell is very powerful, and so and truthfully, in this age, in this era of wearing masks, that's not going to stop the era. And unless you're wearing a gas mask, um, you're not going to block out the chemicals wafting through the air. So, and what's worse, if you will, is that olfactory receptors are in the skin. They're not just in the nose. So you'd have to be wearing an armored suit that was completely sealed to not be impacted by chemicals wafting throughout the room. And that's, again, a concern for children who we've not identified any sort of, because some kids don't even realize they're sensitive to smells. Um, and again, what's even worse is you don't have to smell anything to still be impacted by it. So although the mask may filter out the smell itself, it doesn't block the absorption of the aromatic chemicals that will agitate the system and create even a more unstable autonomic nervous system and reactions. So, that said, what do you do? Well, just look at it this way. More than likely, those chemicals are not natural. So, you've got the first thing I suggest you do is Epsom salt. An Epsom salt bath, because it has sulfate in it, and the sulfate actually supports the sulfation pathway, which is one way the body actually detoxes itself. Another thing to use is an essential oil that actually, a genuine essential oil that actually leaves you feeling good. One that you can just go, those. I mean, helichrysum does it for me. Frankincense sacra. Okay, keep in mind there are different oils. There's not just one frankincense. There's different types. Frankincense sacra does it for me. I love that one. It's just, oh yeah. And like I said, helichrysum does it for me. It's just really, I can grab, but those two particularly really do it for me. It used to be myrrh, not so much myrrh, but the frankincense sacra and the helichrysum for some reason right now are really helping me out for all of this. So, but yeah, what you want to do is, if you find yourself exposed to that, now if you do, to prevent it, if you're going out, I am one of the things that you could do is you could actually put like myrrh and Roman chamomile right under their nose before you go out. It's not going to protect you from from the skin, so you're going to want to do something prior to as well as afterwards. So the go-to oils for that would be initially the myrrh and the Roman chamomile, but after that, like I said, magnesium, the Epsom salt bath. Put your oils even in that, and just kind of help flush your system. And you could go back to using the myrrh and the Roman chamomile. That does it for you to help ground you and kind of clear your head up. Marjoram sweet would be another great one for that. Now that I'm thinking about it, because it'll actually help clear your head out as well. Or helichrysum and the frankincense. Again, there's a number of types of frankincense, but if you like frankincense, grab it and use it, because it would be a good option here for, again, clearing the head. So if you have any questions, let me know. I appreciate you watching this episode of Nasal Academy. Until we meet again.